Spider-Man 3 is sizing up to be quite a large movie with an even bigger cast. Just how big is this cast, and how true are all these casting rumors? Let's talk about that right now. Hello everybody and welcome back to Joker's Movie Network. I'm your host Joker, and today we've got quite a bit of news from several different articles to break down and give my initial thoughts on and what this could mean for the potential of Spider-Man 3. And that is starting us off with the biggest news that has dropped so far, which is that Alfred Molina will be returning to play his role as Otto Octavius, or Doc Ock, in Tom Holland Spider-Man 3. This information is coming to us from The Hollywood Reporter, which is a reputable source, which makes me very happy, but it's just pretty straightforward, saying that Alfred Molina is putting the metal arms back on to reprise his role as the villainous Dr. Octopus, sources tell The Hollywood Reporter. The only problem I have with this is that it's just saying sources say. That's what all of these articles are saying. Sources say so-and-so is cast. There's no official statement from anybody. As a matter of fact, in the same article, it does say that both Marvel and Sony had no comment on this casting rumor, which makes me wonder, most of the time, yes, that means they're trying to keep something under wraps, but how true is this casting news? We already had more casting news earlier in the past month about Jamie Foxx reprising his role as Electro, more specifically the Electro version that he was in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which starred Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. So now it's looking like they're trying to get more of that Spider-Verse, multiverse action that we've been hoping for. Obviously, we were introduced to the idea of the multiverse in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which was a phenomenal movie, and then we got a little bit of a tease of a live-action version of a multiverse in Spider-Man Far From Home. But as it turned out, it was just Mysterio lying about him being from another universe to get the trust of Peter Parker. Whether or not he was truly lying, we don't really know yet, but it looks like this third Spider-Man could potentially be a multiverse film, which means that he wasn't necessarily lying completely. Of course, with all these casting rumors becomes more of a problem, because the second that this article came out talking about Alfred Molina being in Spider-Man 3, several other articles came out blowing up our feed with every single person and their mother being cast in Spider-Man 3, which got to a joking point where I found one saying that Johnny Depp will reprise his role as Captain Jack Sparrow in Spider-Man 3, leading to a potential spin-off. So you get the point. People are starting to make jokes out of all of the casting rumors. And I found one article from Collider, which is very reputable, that just kind of shortened all of these casting rumors into one list. This is an article coming to us from the great Jeff Snyder. He's wonderful. Go check him out. I'll have a link to all of these articles in the description so you can read their entirety. And I find this really interesting. There's no confirmation from any source saying that all of these people are going to be in the movie. It's just sources telling all of these providers. So in this article from Jeff Snyder on Collider, he says, just like Jamie Foxx's Electro, Andrew Garfield will be back. And if Sony and Marvel can close a deal with Tobey Maguire, he'll be back too. So obviously that's going back to the fact that they were trying to get all the Spider-Man in there, which led us to the idea of the Multiverse or Spider-Verse live action film that they were trying to prove. We know there's been talks with Andrew and Tobey about something rumored. And I remember back a while there were some issues about the fact that I think Andrew was only going to get one scene and Tobey was rumored to only have two scenes. I know with Tobey Maguire there's a big issue going on between how much he's offered to do it and how long he's going to be in the movie. Like, is it going to be like 5 minutes? Is it going to be 2 minutes? There's something big about that, which is why they're having trouble signing a contract to get Tobey back in the movie. But he continues on saying, Kirsten Dunst will return as MJ, and I expect Emma Stone to reprise her role as Gwen Stacy, pregnancy permitting. I've heard nothing on Kirsten Dunst returning as Mary Jane or with Emma Stone reprising her role as Gwen Stacy, so that's news to me, and that's why I just list article after article after article saying all of these people are coming back. Now, would it be great if all these people came back? Yes, it would be fantastic. And Jeff even goes on to say that. Why? Because this third Spider-Man movie starring Tom Holland will delve into the multiverse, just like its animated counterpart Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I don't think that's a big secret at this point, so why do we pretend it is? Because we love the pageantry of it all. So obviously, yeah, it looks like this could be one of those bigger crossover films, not necessarily up to par with Infinity War and Endgame, but something on the list of it would be a big deal to watch Tom Holland cross universes with Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker and Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. It would be fantastic. Plus, like I've talked about multiple times, getting a Spider-Man 3 in general is just very rare. We didn't get it with Andrew Garfield, and we almost did not get this one, and it was a big toss-up between Disney and Marvel and Sony talking about if they were going to get that Spider-Man 3 because they had that giant argument, and even Tom Holland was caught in the middle. He was like, I don't know what's going on. And of course, we have a Spider-Man 3, but you have your own opinion on that movie, I'm sure. I'm kind of in the middle on that movie. While I do love it because I grew up with it, I also realize that a majority of the movie is just flawed. But here's what I'm liking about this. If all of this casting stuff is true, obviously I'm going to go ahead and say that yes, Jamie Foxx and Alfred Molina will be in Spider-Man 3, which if we're going that far, we might as well say the rest of this is true as well. This would be a big moment in live action for Sony, Marvel, and Spider-Man. If all of this is true and it gives us Dr. Octopus and Electro, we've basically almost casted the entirety of the Sinister Six for this final installment of a Spider-Man trilogy. Because that gives us both Vulture and Scorpion from Tom Holland's universe. We also get Dr. Octopus from the Tobey Maguire universe. We'll get Electro from the Andrew Garfield universe. That only leaves us with 2 more, and if we can believe the potential that Mysterio isn't really dead and he's still alive, and on top of that, we also have the potential of either Venom or Morbius, since we have the Morbius movie coming out also by Sony, which also shows a crossover with Michael Keaton's version of Vulture from Tom Holland's universe in the movie trailer itself, leading up to something big, which looks like it could be a real Sinister Six. Or we can assume that Tom Holland is going to be getting another villain to face outside of everyone he's already got in this movie, which could probably include Norman Osborn as Green Goblin, who knows? But there's other casting rumors that I'm really not quite sure about, which is including the fact that Charlie Cox is reportedly returning to play Daredevil, Matt Murdock, in Spider-Man 3 as well. And with that, the potential of bringing in Kingpin. So we have plenty of villains to cast our Sinister Six, but I don't know exactly what sense it would take for Sony to want Daredevil to come into this universe as well, at least for this movie. Right now we're getting to that point where it feels very overcrowded and it feels like we're going to have way too many people in this movie. And not really to point fingers or anything, but at this point, if this were a DC movie, everyone would be talking about how it's way overcrowded. Whereas now that it's a Marvel movie, everyone's just over the moon excited for all of the Spider-Man to be on screen. And believe me, I am too. I want this movie to be good. I always want these movies to be good and to succeed. And I really think if done right, this is going to be a groundbreaking movie as far as bringing a real-life multiverse to life. And you even have more signs pointing to that because Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange is going to be in Spider-Man 3, aside from the fact that he already has his own sequel coming out entitled Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So it's all pointing to the fact that all of this very well could be happening. I just don't know how true all these castings are going to be, and if everyone involved in this casting rumor circle is going to be in Spider-Man 3, we are in for one hell of a movie. But what do you guys think? I'm sure I missed a lot of casting rumors and a lot of information. Fill me in down in the comments below if I missed something, or you want me to cover more of this in another video if it's a specific casting or specific ways that this movie could go. Let me know down below your thoughts. Do you like the idea of a multiverse coming into the live action screen for Spider-Man 3? Do you like the fact that they're trying to round everybody up? Do you think there's too many people, or do you think this is the perfect amount to get a true fight between the Sinister Six and a trio of Spider-Man? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to talk about it. But until I get any more news on the rumored castings for Spider-Man 3, and I guarantee they will continue in the coming days, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Remember, if you like what you saw, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more movie news videos, or if you'd like to see anything else. But until then, and as always, I will see you guys next time.